Hey everybody, I wanted to do a follow-up video. About a month ago, roughly 29 or 30 days ago, I did a review on harvesting 18650 rechargeable batteries from an old laptop. And as a recap, if you didn't see that video, the runtime for the batteries, I charged two of them up and ran them in a Streamlight HLX 1000 lumen light. And the runtime for them ranged from about 10 minutes less to almost negligible from when they were new, calculated on their MAH versus the MAH of Streamlight's battery and the predicted runtime from Streamlight. Another thing I wanted to note is that every one of these batteries charged to 4.20 volts, and they did so all within roughly 5 hours. Some of them were 5 hours and 5 minutes, some of them 5 hours and 10 minutes, but they're remarkably consistent in how long they took to charge and that they all took 4.20 volts. I checked a couple of them a day or two later and they had relaxed to 4.17 to 4.18 volts. Anyway, these have been sitting for roughly, like I say, about 30 days, give or take a day or two, at full charge, and I want to see how many of them have retained full charge, or rather relaxed minimally, as rechargeables sometimes will do. So we're just going to test them one by one and see where they're at. That one came in at 4.16 volts. Now this laptop had not been used for about 9 or 10 years. That was 4.16. And before that I had used it without cooling or elevating it from the desk. And it actually, as you can see there, it melted the part of the battery pack casing to the battery. I guess what I'm trying to say is these batteries have been abused and then sat until they ran dry almost. Some of them were in the 1.7, 1.9 volt range when I got a hold of them and tore them out of that battery pack. Like I said, they'd sat unused for the better part of a decade. That one's 4.18. The purpose of this is to demonstrate the longevity and viability, or lack thereof, of a rechargeable battery system well into the future. I know a lot of people are proponents of primary batteries, their argument being, oh wow, that one's 4.18. Their argument being that they can sit on the shelf for a decade and still work, whereas rechargeable batteries lose their charge quicker. And I do agree, rechargeables lose their charge more rapidly, but as we're seeing, even 15 years plus from date of manufacture, like I said in my first video, that laptop was, oh wow, that one didn't lose anything. Like I said, that laptop was manufactured, yeah it did, okay, 4.18. in roughly 2003 to 2004. So we're about a decade and a half out on that laptop. And for the first 5 years it was abused, the batteries rather. And for the last decade, probably one of the worst things I've been told you can do to a rechargeable battery is to simply let it discharge. And that's what these did for 10 years. Anyway, that concludes this follow-up, and as you can see, these batteries are retaining a charge remarkably well. They're doing excellent. So while your mileage may vary, is certainly in effect here, and I would always ask you to exercise caution with rechargeable batteries, because they are an explosion and fire hazard if you handle them incorrectly. It does appear that long term they do remain very viable. Like I say, please be careful with them. This video is not an endorsement of any type of procedure or protocol or anything of the nature. I do know that These batteries, if they degrade in storage, recharging them can be dangerous. So I just want y'all to take that into account and be safe too, okay? Anyway, that's kind of my CYA public service announcement there, because like I said, I'd hate for anybody to be injured by these, so I wanted to add that in there and make sure that y'all are all being safe. If the battery becomes hot when charging, or if you notice any kind of warnings on your charger's screen or anything of the nature, please be cautious.